Good day, Sanbonani, Habari, wherever you are. We greet you and give you warm greetings from the Victor Mukasa Show. On this day, this Saturday, it's the 27th of April, 2024. Welcome to the Victor Mukasa Show. My name is Victor Mukasa, and I am your host today on a very, very special program. This is coming towards the end of Lesbian Visibility Week, which you all know is an annual event in which we highlight the lesbian identity, those courageous women that identify as lesbians and close to that. Now, this event happens towards the end of April every year, and we are talking pride, we are talking resilience, we are talking identity, we are talking courage, we are talking challenges faced by lesbian people or lesbian identifying women. We are talking existence. We are talking survival. We are talking pride. And on this day at the Victor Mukasa Show, we are putting the spotlight on lesbian women living in Nairobi with a refugee status. As you all know, refugee, nobody's born a refugee, but we have lesbians who have ended up in Nairobi and Kenya and other places, fleeing for survival because of homophobia and other isms that end up in other strange countries, but still with their identity. Now, we will be featuring a group from an organization called Keneswa. They will explain to us more about this organization, and we shall have these lesbians talk about those aspects that we just mentioned, especially about their identities and how they survive in homophobic Africa. Now, I would like you all to help me welcome these courageous lesbians. First and foremost, a special shout out to all those tuned in on Twitter or X. Please show us that you are there by sending a comment, or if you have any questions or additions to whatever is being discussed here. A special shout out to those on the Victor Mukasa Show Facebook page and also those on the Victor Mukasa profile page. Please share the live and let us celebrate and recognize Lesbian Visibility Week in style. Welcome, my guests, very courageous women from Nairobi, Kenya. Hello.
Hey.
Hi, everyone there.
Hi.
Welcome to the Victor Mukasa Show, and thank you for actually choosing to share something with the world on during this special week. The Victor Mukasa Show, we are very, very honored and humbled to have you. To start off the show, we will start off with introductions, and we will start from the white-caped person there. Please tell us how you identify and speak the language that you understand. Be comfortable. They happen to be from my motherland, so in case they go native, I will be able to interpret for you what they are saying. And let us know what Lesbian Visibility Week means to you. In the middle, please. And also where you're from.
Thank you so much, Victor Mukasa, for this chance of allowing us to celebrate our week. My name is Romeo the Chosen, and I am a trans man. I'm a Ugandan, and my pronouns are he, him, because I feel like I'm a real man. Me, accordingly to me, the National Lesbian Visibility Week, what it means to me, it makes me feel so proud of being me, of who I am, because I have not been knowing that the world knows me. The world also respects me. So I'm feeling so proud. It brings so many things to me. Like it increases me to continue. Okuwulira nti nenyumirizamu ekyo kyendi.
She's proud of who he is. Or he. Yes. I'm sorry for misgendering you. Proud of who he is.
Okuwulira nga nsobola okweyagala ne bwe mba nga ntambula nga mpulira nina amaanyi neewulira nga ndi musajja ndi okay ndi bulungi.
Yeah, to feel that amidst everything, they are proud and they are okay and they're surviving.
Ate, it makes me to feel that I'm not a sinner in front of God who created me, because if also the world knows, then I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So I have to walk like I have no sin. I'm someone who is being respected by the world and also God.
Thank you. And what are you doing in Kenya, just before we move on to the next person?
In Kenya, I'm just surviving because I ran from my country because of being arrested because my country is a homophobia country. I was arrested so many times, like twice, because of my lifestyle. So I just ran to come to Kenya. So I'm in Kenya. I'm just just a survivor.
All right, so you are a refugee in Kenya.
Yes,
Yes.
I'm a refugee in Kenya.
Well, Chosen Romeo, welcome to the Victor Mukasa Show, and thank you so much for your willingness to share your story. All right, next on this other side, on my right, yes, that's you. This one here.
Okay, hi everyone. Thank you, Victor Mukasa, for having hosted us to your show, which is being viewed by each and everyone around the world. And I've really, I've really become excited just because of appearing on uh, on on your platform. I'm called Malcolm Charles, and I work with Kineso as a programs manager.
What is
And
Keneso?
I do identify myself as he. So work with Kineso, and Kineso is Kenya network of LGBT Kenya network of LGBTIQ refugee sex workers led organization. Kineso is an umbrella body organization led by LGBTI refugee sex workers in Kenya. Our primary objective is to unite representatives of LGBTI refugee sex workers to collectively address shared concerns.
Wow.
Particularly, the diminishing resources and spaces for LGBTI refugees. We function as an advocacy platform, one, coordinating strategic actions and providing support for the strengthening and systems and structures within our members' organizations. Our mandate is to create a collective voice for LGBTI refugee sex workers, advocating for their rights and fostering a safe space for dialogue, problem solving, and overcoming challenges within their communities. Our Kineso's mission is to build robust LGBTI refugee sex workers movement in Kenya, creating a safe movement for LGBTI refugee sex workers by coordinating efforts, conducting research, implementing policies, and enhancing the capabilities of our members. And one of our some of our visions are to coordinate, or we envision a coordinated and fully inclusive LGBTI refugee sex workers population, socially, politically, legally, and economically integrated into society. Those are some of our achievements. And to me,
wonderful, thank you. Yes, and what does this week mean to you as Lesbian Visibility Week?
To me, Lesbian Visibility Week, I think it's the time and to recognize the different challenges and achievements all lesbians pass through all over the world. So it's their time to honor and celebrate their achievements and challenges of which they passed through because of their sexual orientation. That's me.
And indeed, I see that you are a very, very powerful advocate for lesbians across the world, even if you yourself do not identify as a lesbian. And I think that is a very important thing already that we are getting from this show. Thank you very much. Next there.
Hello, Victor.
Yes.
I'm Ruby Shane, and I'm a lesbian woman. I work with Keneswo as a finance manager. And it's my pleasure that you honored us today on your platform. Thank you.
Thank you for being here and for honoring that invitation. And it's very clear that all our siblings here are refugees in Kenya, fled from their countries because of homophobia. And here they are in another country, which I believe is also very homophobic. Now, comrades, tell me, you fled Uganda because of challenges, and you are in Kenya. Are things fine in Kenya? And if they are not fine, what kind of challenges are you facing? Are lesbians facing, for starters? Because I think that during Lesbian Visibility Week, we put the spotlight on lesbians, but it does not hurt to put the spotlight also, some of the lights, on the other identities within the umbrella. What kind of challenges do you face in Romeo? What challenges have you faced as a refugee in Nairobi?
For me, the challenges that I have faced as a trans man or a lesbian person in Kenya, first of all, it's economic problems, because everywhere you go looking for a job, they just look at the physical appearance and they don't give job. And I even ended up being arrested in Kiserian because when I was working, because these things of going looking everywhere a job, because I know I'm a trans man. I'm someone who is supposed to care for a woman, and I don't expect anyone to come and give me money for free. So about jobs, they have suffered a lot. So in the terms of looking for jobs, I got a job like working in a bar, because the other jobs they couldn't give me a job, yet I'm someone who is so creative and someone who knows to do what I do. But they could just see me. They don't even want to see according to the way how we dress, the dressing code, the physical appearance. They start saying, now are you a man or you are a woman? They speak about you everywhere you go. They even so the police, when they arrested me, like my boss said, like, I don't know this person. This person was just a customer in my bar, and we have a lot of problems about income, economic problems. Then we also have a problem of like finding shelters where you can at least lay your head and sleep. As a refugee here in Kenya, it is also a very big problem, because no one knows you, no one wants to let you in. They even think you might be someone who is planning bad things to the country, yet you are just looking for survival. Then another challenge is in where to go in the church and talk to God, because it's not that even if I'm a lesbian, I don't like worshiping God, but when you go in the church, everyone looks at you like as if you are a criminal, yet you are looking for God. So those things, also to get something like what to eat is also a problem.
All right. Yeah. Finding ways of surviving physically is a challenge. And I've had some of these challenges before from refugees in Kakuma refugee camp. So it is not surprising that it is a shared experience. And Ruby, as a lesbian woman, what kind of challenges have you faced? Like what challenges that are specific to lesbian women in the refugee process in Kenya? You know, basing on your past own challenges you faced as an individual, because they are not really unique to you.
Thank you, Victor.
Yes.
Well, today I'm really so happy about this Lesbian Visibility Week.
Yes.
Because really it is creating this awareness for us. The people are getting to know we are there, we exist, and we are not going anywhere. The challenges have really been there, and I think they're still going to be there. This is not something that we are going to end in just a day or two. There are lots of challenges as refugees here in Kenya. Most people are mentally sick. The traumas they go through, the stress, the lack of shelters, the discrimination and isolation is just so much. Our people are really displaced. Some lesbians have kids and they are refugees. They've run away from Uganda. They don't know where. The discrimination and the stress that is happening here is just so much.
Yes.
Many lesbians really are going through mental health problems. They are losing it. They are getting addicted to drugs, trying to run away from reality. You've been rejected in your home. You've run to Kenya. You're still rejected in Kenya. People are so homophobic. People are so judgmental. Like they don't see you as a human being. It's like you're nobody. You don't belong anywhere. Every time you're trying to look for survival, you're trying to look for that acceptance. So you reach a level where you lose it and you cannot even accept who you are. But this week is encouraging us, no matter the challenges that are there, but we are still trying so hard. We are still standing strong. No matter what, we are lesbians, and that's who we are. We are strong women.
Wow, Robbie, what gives you the strength, Robbie? What makes you welcome the following day, or even have hope for another day with everything that is happening around you?
I think my strength comes from God, and my strength comes from my past experiences, coming from a very staunch Christian family, coming from such environment where you're judged, discriminated, then you start hiding who you are. You may end up making a lot of terrible mistakes in your life. Then with time, you're like, no, I have to stand firm and be who I am. Because every time you try to hide behind someone or behind something, you mess it up. So I got this courage of standing for myself and standing for other lesbian women who maybe don't have a right to speak for themselves. So I gave myself up to fight for the voiceless. Because there are so many people, many lesbian women suffering in fake marriages. They are being forced into marriages, into places they don't want to be, but because they are scared.
Wow.
So we are standing stronger. And with all this visibility, at least we are getting support of people who have been in our shoes and they have made it. So we are fighting together.
Oh, thank you so much, Ruby. That was really powerful. And just to add on that, are you the one with spectacles? That name, I didn't catch it. Do you want to add on the kind of challenges that queer people, not only lesbians, we take this opportunity to highlight what is happening to our other queer brothers and sisters? Any other challenges that you'd like to add on that queer people face in Nairobi?
Oh, thank you, Victor, for that chance that has been given to me. To me, as a speaker, I've ever experienced something like, so there were like 3 challenges to me that
Right.
and I experienced them personally.
Yes.
One is discrimination. And me personally, I'm an intersex person. However, I do identify myself as a man. However, I have 2 reproductive parts. But one is as in terms of feelings. There is a certain part that has a lot of feelings than the other one. You understand?
Right.
So I identify myself as a man, and I do love men. My sexual preference is gay.
Right.
So to me, I've ever gone to the hospital asking for. The first challenge is discrimination. I'll give it to. I'll give you that example from where I was in Uganda.
Right.
One of the person came to recognize that I was staying in a certain area in Uganda, but unfortunately, I met someone who knew me back to the village, back from the village. Understand?
Right.
Then that person had ever had such rumors that I have 2 reproductive parts. Then that someone continued on circulating such rumors. I came up being discriminated by people around my society. People could say, I could bypass people, and people could backbite me. You know, have you seen that person? I
Right.
hear that he has 2 parts. I could bypass like guys, boda men. I could say, wait, we hear that you have 2 parts. But me personally, I do act as a man. I used to fight that not to behave like a woman. However, kaitam, and people can recognize that. Kaitam. Most of the time I can talk like this but I always fight to behave like a man. But other people could, being that people were told that I have 2 parts, you understand? So
Right.
people could, they could backbite me, they could discriminate me somehow, somewhere, and it forced me leaving that place, going to another one, like that. And you cannot just move to the whole country, moving just because of hiding your hiding people that you have 2 reproductive parts. That one affected me mentally.
Yes.
Another challenge is access to healthy services. As I told you, that I identify myself as a man and I love men, yes. So there is time comes and you have to go to the hospital. Some of them are dropping in centers looking for healthy services, and some of the materials or facilities like PrEP, lubricant, condoms, you understand? So time comes and like you face the nurse, the health worker, you ask that health worker that, you know what, I've come for lubricant. Then that someone asks you, they have this tendency of, we have KPs, key population.
Yes.
Those medical workers, they have that tendency that whoever comes for PrEP, a lubricant, has to either to be a sex worker, a gay man, a lesbian. There is no one who can come for lubricant. So they ask me, you have come for PrEP? Are you a sex worker? Are you a lesbian? Are you gay? Don't you ever tell us that you pray and sex? It really torments someone. It really torments someone.
And this is also happening in Kenya.
In Kenya, as of now, definitely, it doesn't mean that everyone is smart enough to understand that whoever comes for a lubricant, he or she won't ask. It happens somehow, somewhere, to some of the health facilities.
Right.
And you have to be smart enough. You come, you reason maturely, but you can find someone who is kind of shy. So, if at all someone is being treated in such a way, it really torments. It makes someone being known by each and everyone. Because me, when a health worker shouted at me, "You've come for lubricant and PrEP. Are you gay?" Even she spoke it in Uganda. Everyone around us looked at me. Very, very, very affected mentally, and it made me just leaving. And I had to look for someone who had to get me PrEP. You understand? I couldn't go back because I thought that they had already recognized my face. So that's it. Yeah.
Are these some of the reasons that actually got you to make the decision to flee out of Uganda into Kenya?
Exactly, and and I'd already known by one of the local leaders, the political leaders, like the chairperson, the community. They had already recognized that because people went on telling them, and one of the incidents that happened, I had an miss what? Obutakanya ne boss, like my boss, and I trusted that boss of mine had trusted that boss of mine nga manyi each and everything concerning about me. And when we got misunderstanding, he came out and nansasanya each and everywhere. That's why I decided leaving Uganda. Then I came to Kenya.
And in Kenya, still things are tough. Thank you for sharing that. And I think we should still stick to the challenges that you face as queer refugees in Kenya. Chosen, while you were speaking earlier on, you mentioned God. You mentioned God and how you go to church and you feel like you're the devil itself and himself, and the way people treat you. What makes you like Kenya is like Uganda right now? We've seen religious leaders across Kenya in demonstrations against LGBTIQ persons in Kenya, against LGBTIQ refugees, in the name of that God. What makes you still, strong in God and believe that is where your hope is?
Thank you so much, Victor. Me, what really makes me feel like I'm strong no matter what comes. It's in the scripture of the book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 5.
Wow.
That says that says that no man, nobody shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. Just as I was with Moses, so I will be with you. I will not leave you nor forsake you. That one makes me feel like even if I'm facing challenges, even when I was arrested in Xerian and my boss said that she doesn't know me, I'm just a stranger, and she just left me in the hands of the police, I just knelt down in that cell. I called out to God, and God helped me to come out without paying even money, because they were thinking they will let them to pay a lot of money to release me. And another thing that really makes me feel strong is in the book of Psalms, Psalms 139, verse 14. That says that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. So whatever the world think, that's their business. If they just think I'm a sinner, I'm a criminal, I'm going to hell, they don't care. I am fearfully and wonderfully made. And in the book of Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4.
Preach it.
I'm sorry to talk a lot, but also in the book of Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4, it says that I knew you before I put you in the womb. So God knew me. God created me in his image. He loves me. So wherever I go, he is with me. And he also promised me in the book of Psalms 138, verse 7 to 8, that though I walk through the midst of trouble, you do preserve my life. You stretch out the wrath of your hand against my enemies, and your right hand delivers me. Then this verse of 8 is the one that makes me to keep so strong and focused on loving God, no matter what they say, no matter if I go to the church and they look at me like a sin. That one of verse 8, the Lord will fulfill his purpose for me. Right. Your steadfast love, oh Lord, endures forever. You do not forsake the work of your hands. So God cannot forsake me. God cannot forsake the Lesbians. God cannot forsake all the Lesbians in the world, wherever you are. I know there are so many Lesbians there listening to me. I'm here. Let me be your example. Let's love God, walk with God. Because you see, in this world, what I have seen, even if you do good things or bad things, people will always say something bad about you. Nobody, it is not that everyone has to love you. But how can we survive? Even these religious leaders, even these political leaders who are against us, how can we survive them? Love God. God will always be with you wherever you go. He will always protect us. So may I encourage my fellow Lesbians, wherever you are, just love God, walk with God. Other
no
things
matter what
God
the
will
homophobic pastors are saying. Wow.
Yeah,
High five,
it's my vision. I want to become a great queer pastor so that I can encourage those who are Lesbians, who are facing a lot of challenges in the churches and what, so that they can know that you can still be a Lesbian and still be a Christian, still be a spiritual person. God can use so many things. But this being a Lesbian is just a sexual orientation thing. So apart from being,
we need you so much in this community, and we are going to need you on Ichimeza Chaba CRZ on some Sunday, so that you talk to us about this your thing. Thank you very much, Chosen.
Wow.
I was really excited by that. Ruby, as a lesbian woman, identifying woman in Nairobi, what are those specific needs of lesbians, say in your organization or in Nairobi as a whole?
I beg your pardon, Mr. Victor.
Yes, just if you could share with us the specific needs of lesbians, maybe in your organization or in Nairobi or in Kenya, or specific needs of lesbian refugees
Oh,
where you are at.
okay, Mr. Victor, mostly we lack resources. We lack resources, food, shelters, medical, like a lot of things, by the way. This life here as a refugee is very challenging. It really takes a strong heart to survive this Kenya. And like recently, I was talking to my friends, and I was like, if I've survived for this long in Kenya, then I think I can survive in the harshest country in this world. Kenya is really, really so hard. As a refugee woman, I cannot work anywhere without a work permit, and of which a work permit is so expensive. It's not something that you can just wake up and do. It's very expensive. And as a refugee, I'm not even given access. Even if I got that money, I couldn't get a work permit here. So you survive just on God's hands and maybe on people's hearts if someone just feels pity for you, or mostly, and thanks to my boss, Arnold, yeah, he has done so much for me. He has employed us as lesbian women. At least now we are surviving. But before getting this job, it was terrible. I'm telling you, it was terrible. Yeah.
Right. Can you tell
The
people
first-
again what the name of your organization is in full? Keneswa?
It's called KENESO, Kenya Network of LBQTI, Refugee Sex Workers Led Organization.
All right, listeners out there, Twitter, Facebook, if any of you would like to get in touch with this organization and would like to lend a hand in any way to lesbian refugees or LGBTIQ refugees who are also sex workers, please reach out to me and I will connect you to this organization. I think it is high time we did whatever we can to support those in need. And you can see that these are very resilient people. There are people going through a lot of challenges, but you have heard what Chosen has just said to us and the energy that Chosen has. You can tell that amidst of everything, they still fight, that they still survive, but they need us as siblings to come and hold their hands. And Keneso, let's just concentrate on Keneso in particular. What kind of support would Keneso share about with the followers of the Victor Mukasa show?
Oh, thank you so much for that question. Keneso, as an organization, does a lot of things concerning about supporting and helping refugees. One, refugees. Two, people who do fall under the umbrella of LBQTI, and who do, and if someone is here lacking things to use, lacking money, doesn't have job, how can that someone can survive? It will just, that someone will definitely be forced to do sex work. You understand?
Right.
So we sat down and came up with such knowledge of starting up such an organization that help refugees who are lesbians, gay, bisexual, queer, trans, and intersex, and who are practicing sex work as in terms of surviving. So we came up, having found a lot of people here in Nairobi, Kenya, not only even Nairobi, because there are even other people who are there in Kakuma camp. They end up having called us asking for assistance in terms of being sheltered. A lot of people run from Uganda, and immediately after someone having run from Uganda, definitely he or she thinks of where to sleep, where to stay. You understand? So they end up having called us. They end up having called other people. I'm coming to Kenya. I've run out of Uganda. Where shall I go? You understand? If at all I come to Kenya, where shall I sleep? So we came up we host them and we support them like financially. Financially, with a little amount of money we do have, because we don't have, we are financially unstable. We do lack a lot of fundraising, and actually it will come there. I'll also, it will be a request there. So we shelter them. We give them the shelters. There is food, nutritional support. We help them as in terms of supplying nutrition to them. We give them food. If at all we get little fundraising, little money, we try to tema that kasente, so that we give some, we make someone not to live in Kenya without having gotten something to eat. On top of that, there are certain services we give to them. If at all you come to Kenya, Kenyans who are refugees, asylum seekers, they have a lot of depression and stress. And over a period of time I've spent here, I've seen a lot. Actually, out of 195%, they take weed, they drink alcohol, they take cigarette, as well as eating. So here it is called jaba.
That's Mairungi?
Yes, Mairungi, you understand? Why? To relieve the stress. Because they have a
coping mechanism.
Exactly. So we fall. Actually, others also injected drugs. They use injection. They injected drugs.
Right.
So we came up having found such people who do fall under this category of PWITs, people who use and injected drugs.
Right.
So we also give such services guidance. We guide and counsel, give them psychosocial support, as in terms of yes, making them not using. Okay, you cannot stop them using them, but we always encourage them to reduce
reduce the
That's
safe
why
use and stuff like that.
Exactly. That's why we organize the mental health trainings.
Right.
We sit down, we have time and gather together as asylum seekers who are refugees, asylum seekers who do fall under LGBTI umbrella. We sit down, we discuss different problems each and every one experiences. Then we come up with a solution. Like twegumya, no mugumya, like nolina kubilamu ebizibu bye, and you understand them. After understanding them, and you sit down, you find a solution. So that's why I must say we are planning all to have the comprehensive such kind of programs like harm reduction programs. Yeah, that's why we are looking
Are
here
you,
and there.
as Keneso, working with any other organizations outside Kenya, say in Africa or outside of Africa?
Outside of Africa, we have not yet gotten the organization outside Africa.
Okay.
We have not, but we do try our level best doing such kind of advocacy, with visibility at the ground, so that we are known by other organizations. However, we do have other partners and networks here we do collaborate with, because in terms of helping each other. But we are looking for such kind of support and donations from other grantors or other grantors who can support us here and there, so that we come up with a strong support towards those the people who are suffering from such problems.
Okay. Do you guys have any kind of online fundraising initiative?
Funding initiative we have, but little, but we have.
Do you
However,
have
we try
online fundraising? Say
online. No, online we don't have. And actually we are it's a request, it's a humble request. That's why we were fighting here and there to be hosted here at on your platform, so that we are being seen by the entire world, so that they come to know that
you'll be seen by a lot of people. You'll be seen by a lot of people. And after even today, we shall be sharing this broadcast with others. So this brings us to that last part of the show, where you all say your last word and also make the requests that you want. And we call it a day. I know that I'm going to have you back here. I didn't know much about Keneswa, but I think that I represent many of the viewers that we would like to learn more about your organization and what you are doing. Yeah. But your requests, your closing words, also your closing remarks, anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to put out there. This is the moment.
We would like. Okay. Thank you so much. We would like to put our request towards you. You personally, Victor Mukasa, to host us. By the way, we would love to be hosted by you, so that we make some fundraisation towards our organization. Just because we have a lot of big goals. We have a lot of goals. Now we've been planning to have. Now time will come, and time is coming to have International Refugees Day. Now we are planning. We are planning a lot we are planning to go here and there looking for fundraisation, so that we celebrate such a day, such an event. We want that event to be colorful. Not only that, and we are requesting, actually, it's a humble request, you personally, by the way, so that because we know you have a lot of friends, you have a lot of friends who can watch us immediately after having watched us, and they pick, I'll call it an interest. Let me call it an interest. I'm sorry for that. I think I've picked a word that it deserves there. So that who can get an interest in us, and we can sit on a table and we explain each and everything. I think we can find out the way how we can get support and help from you guys.
Right.
Yeah.
And is there anything that you would like to close with?
I think my fellows have.
All right. Chosen.
Yeah, thank you so much. For me, I am really so glad, and I really appreciate for you hosting us today. So I really request you from the bottom of my heart. I would like you. I request you to support us, at least so that we can have to fundraise for a National Refugee Day, at least every year. Then another request. I request you, because I know you have a lot of friends, as I have been told by my colleagues. There is something that hurts me, and it really hurts me And I really want to start about this, but I don't know where to start about it. I think like I'm seeing a lot of lesbians, a lot of bisexual people, queer people, they are there suffering. I want to let them know the truth about God. I want them to know, because even all the churches, they say that God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah because of homosexuality. But if you read the whole story, if you read a lot of Bible verses that I know, a collection, you can know that it was not that. It was just because they wanted to do a gang rape to the people who went to the
Now, Ruby,
so me, I want support from everybody who is seeing me, from you personally. I want to preach the true gospel of God to my fellow queers, because there are some churches that are there and they are queer churches, but whatever they tell people to do, they welcome. They welcome LGBTQ people. They welcome us. They really put us to feel good being in a church, but they don't tell the real truth that is in the Bible, and they want to come out with that real truth. May want to start myself preaching the gospel each and everywhere. And we also request for at least you help us as Keneswo, because we get a lot of people who are facing challenges and they need to be helped, but we just settle some small things, but we haven't got on the level of having a lot of helping them like how they are supposed to be helped. So we are lacking funds for sure.
Okay, they are listening, and we are all listening. And I want to commit myself right now that you have space on every Sunday on the Victor Mukasa show program called Christian Moment. It is a show that happens an hour and a half before the Queer Table Talk, and we can talk after here. I give you the studio that you can use it every Sunday the way you please.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And
thank you so much.
And I feel like it is the moment we should have that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So my conclusion is just a small word, but it is big. It's my conclusion. It is going out there to each and everyone, whether they are lesbian, whether they are not, so long as they are created in the image of God.
Yes.
The conclusion is, or the message is, Proverbs 8:17. God says, I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently shall find me. So I encourage them to go seek God.
Thank you very much. You will help us to seek God. And lastly, but not the least, Ruby, and if you could come closer to the camera, could you please say the last word for Keneswa, for yourself, and for all those you'd like to speak for, especially lesbian refugees in Kenya?
Okay. Thank you, Victor. I would just like to give a word of encouragement to all the beautiful lesbian women out there, lesbian refugees who are still struggling so hard here in Kenya. Stay strong, have faith in God, and to keep the faith moving. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And I would like to appreciate my boss, Arnold Chaze, for the good work he's doing for the community. He's really doing a great job, and I pray that there are so many other people who have his heart can come up and do the work he's doing. Thank you, Mr. Arnold Chaze, for the good
Any
work.
calls for support?
Yes, Mr. Victor. Really, we are lacking funds, and we have so many people who are very displaced here in Kenya. They don't have shelters, they don't have food, they have nothing, completely nothing. So we are really requesting for some funds.
You call out to the people out there for support.
Yeah.
And connections to foundations that would help with that thing. I think that you should also connect with organizations within the region, and we can facilitate those connections and act as bridges. What matters is that you speak out, seek that support, and we'll basically connect you to different organizations. Every connection has an advantage. So you do not work.
What's really hurting us, like every single day, newcomers, new refugees are flying here to Kenya, like they're running to Kenya. Every single day you see the person, and we don't have where to put them. It's really straining our organization. We don't have the
this
funds.
was lesbian visibility. I think you guys will have to come back at some point and address this issue.
All right, anytime.
Yes.
It's our pleasure.
I thank you all for showing up today, our viewers out there, those who are on live and those who will watch later. This was Keneswa. Could you say it in full?
Kenya network of LGBTI refugee sex workers led organization.
Yeah, these are from that organization. Very young people, but very, very resilient, and also care a lot about others who are in need among the queer refugee communities in Kenya. And so they need our support. They need us to hold their hand. They need us to reach out to them in any ways that we can. So thank you so much, Keneswa. Greetings to everybody at Keneswa that hasn't showed up today. Greetings to your leader, Arnold Chaze. And we shall have you another time. You have a wonderful weekend. And Chosen, don't forget to pray for us and say something for us tomorrow on the Victor Mukasa Show. Thank you very much. And the rest of you who are watching, thank you for showing up on this show at short notice. Thank you for standing with our comrades and siblings in Kenya who are refugees. Nobody's born a refugee. Somehow people become refugees, and we need to find ways of supporting them, not only with financial support, but that support that can lead to more resources getting to our brothers and sisters. I greet you all on Twitter. I greet you all on Facebook, the 2 pages on Facebook. This show will be available on those platforms and on YouTube, the Victor Mukasa Show, in about 3 days. Thank you for showing up, and happy Lesbian Visibility Week to everyone out there, not only in Kenya, but across the globe. Thank you very much, and we meet again tomorrow for Queer Table Talk on the Victor Mukasa Show. Au revoir.